We are live. Full screen. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the podcast, Voyage of the Reprise, episode 2. We are live from somewhere in West Virginia. Thanks for joining us if you're here. My name's Johnny, and this is all my fault. And I'm happy to have Clancy with us.
Hello?
Clancy there, and Sylvia. And so we're all here in the studio for another podcast. Clancy, how you doing?
I'm good. I just got back from the dentist, and it was a good time.
Excellent.
My teeth feel like $100.
Do they?
Nice and smooth.
Cool. Sounds good. I'm glad. All right. Well, we have an
How
exciting...
are you feeling, Johnny?
I'm doing good. I'm doing really good. We have an exciting show. Clancy's here. We're going to talk about music. We're going to talk about some news and updates. We got a special guest that's joining us a little bit later in the podcast. And so it's going to be a lot of fun. Where'd Sylvia go? I don't feel right with her not here. Get lost. Sylvia Peck. Yeah. Sylvia is our artist in residence, and she's done all the graphic novel work, all the artwork, and right now she's manning the control panel, but she's gone. I don't know where she went. She told me if this should happen that we should not worry, but just chit chat a little bit until she comes back. But so what's going on out there in Chicago?
Well,
is it fall? Is it fall yet?
It's cooling down. Actually, it's nice out tonight. Yeah, we're almost. Fletcher is almost off to college. My son, and we're just hanging out.
Cool. Sounds good. Let me see if I can check on where Sylvia went. Hey, Sylvia. Where did you go? Tell me again where Fletcher's going to college. It's abroad, right? He's studying abroad.
He's going to Britain to University of East Anglia in Norwich.
Sylvia just texted me, said our page crashed.
Oh, okay. That's all right.
She's trying to
talk about this personal stuff.
We don't?
No,
we did?
I don't think it's necessary.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad you're here. Sylvia will be back here in a minute. Things
I don't
going
want to
well.
detract from the subject. The album, I think, is what's interesting.
Is it? You think so? We're still live.
You don't agree?
I think so. I do. I'm pretty excited about it. I'm glad. It's just fun to be working with you. I was thinking about that today. You know, Dominic and the Kashmir Jungle Lords are on tour going to Colorado.
Right.
And like,
Jimmy Kalis is playing drums with them. That's
weird, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And Rob's going in the studio. Rob Williams is going in the studio this fall to do volume 2 of the record that he put out this past year. And it's weird just seeing, which is really good stuff. Yeah. It is a great record. And so like everybody's like, nobody's thrown in the towel. We're all trying to keep doing stuff. And so that's kind of cool, I think. See if I can. Yeah.
I feel compelled to create something.
Do you?
Or try to do something creative anyway.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I like the idea of the thing that we're doing, and my fingers can still move. That's good. And I can still sing a little bit. I never could sing super well. So I'm glad to be able to do something as we get older in life here. But
this was a pretty good record.
That's a great piece of art there. The actual art on the cover, not the album itself.
Speaking of Jungle Lords, Dominic.
Yeah, Dominic produced that album.
Let's see there.
I'm trying to get Sylvia back on the ship here.
So what was this house? That was on Cherry Street, right?
It was. It was the house
William
itself.
Byrd?
Yeah, right around the corner. Yep, right around the corner. And so the house was actually called Oliver's Garden. Oliver was a nickname for Michael Bowling. For some reason, we call him Oliver something for some reason. It was all kind of confused back then anyway. I'm not exactly sure. So yeah, the house was called, it was somewhat of a theme album, but it really just the songs were all kind of written at the house, and then so we named it after that.
Practice in this place too?
Yeah, it's in the kitchen, and that's why I can't hear today.
You practice in the kitchen?
Yeah, practice in the kitchen with the amps all up on 15, the drums and a PA, no hearing protection. It was 1987 or 8 or whatever, and nobody wore hearing protection. I was surprised I could hear anything today.
I didn't start wearing earplugs until in the 90s, and then I switched every other night.
It was 1987 or 8.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Sounds like. Is there a 5-second delay just in case I say something naughty?
Don't say something naughty.
It'll be me. We'll start talking about knobs again.
Oh, not knobs again.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
All right. So Sylvia's back, and we are
on that
doing
happy
good
note.
now. Yeah, on that happy note. So all right. So let's get this podcast rolling now, shall we?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about some updates and some news, right? So I guess some news is there's another podcast here in the West Virginia area called Sylvia, can you put that
Acute Mania.
Acute Mania. It's pretty cool.
Not it's cute, but it's acute.
Acute, yeah. Like most of our psychiatric problems. So yeah, he's invited us to come on. Oh, I'm actually inviting you along, Clancy. Now it's a week from tonight, and I don't know if you can make it.
The 28th at 8.
The 28th at 8 p.m. Eastern.
That's be fine.
Oh, good, great. So yeah, it's mostly like he does like metalcore, pop metal kind of. I don't know. It's a little bit harder than what we do, but maybe not the Tech Jed, but I don't know. It's good music. All the podcasts I've seen are really good. So we're going to be doing that. Y'all tune in to that next week. You'll be able to find a link on our page. And then the other news. What's the other news? Oh yeah, the recording studio. So I've been talking to Clancy about this, and so we've been trying to cut tracks from home, or Clancy cuts tracks from home, and I have been too, but I haven't been able to get any tracks down lately because I don't have the right gear to do it anymore. And so the first 3 songs that we did, I thought they came out, they weren't terrible. And that's, for me, if it's not terrible, that means you should probably keep going. Right. I mean, because if it was absolutely terrible, then I would say, well, that's it. Here we're done. So I've decided, I started looking around for studios in the West Virginia area, in the Charleston area, and I've decided to cut the basic tracks, which would be drums, bass, guitar, acoustic guitar, and vocals, or electric guitar here, and then Clancy and others. And hopefully I'd like to get some other people involved, Rob Williams, and get Sean Harris back on board for future songs, and Ricky Tubb. He's a multi-instrumentalist that I'd love for him to be able to play some stuff on. And so here, if you're looking at this building right here, it's called Rose City Recording. And apparently Charleston, West Virginia has a nickname there. It's called the Rose City. I never knew that. But so this is one of the oldest buildings in Charleston. In fact, I was informed that the elevator in this building was the first elevator ever in Charleston. The studio is on the second floor, and this overlooks the river, right by the place where they have all the outside bands, right on the river. It's really cool. It's a cool
looks like
building.
The second floor is pretty tall too.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty neat. So we'll see if we can see the inside there still. Yeah, so this is Greg McGowan. He owns and runs the studio. And he's been in the Charleston music scene for a long time. Really nice guy, really cool guy. He's a really good engineer and mixer, and so he's agreed to let us come on. We're kind of going to be almost like a residency. So because we're doing this project in real time, we're writing and recording at the same time as we go. So pretty much I'm going to be booking studio time weekly. And going in and continuing the album there. So we got another picture in there. There's the isolation room booth there. And then I think we got there's the main room there with the amps and drums and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. I'm excited. We're
Are you going to play the drums?
No, he knows some folks that are going to help out, some really good studio drummers. So,
sweet.
But see, I mean, when I say bass,
I love that.
Well, I mean, we can still do anything we want to do, but I thought if we could get some good sounding basic tracks, then we can pull out what we don't like and we can add, other stuff to it. So
I think it might sound great.
Yeah, well, we'll see how it goes. So that's starting in October 16th, I think, is our first recording date there. So it'll be the 16th and then like the 25th or 26th or something like that. And then every Tuesday night for a while. So that's news and updates. So
what should we talk about now? The new song?
Oh, yeah. I have a little bit of frog in my throat right now. So if anybody's been following, and you probably haven't, and there's nobody probably watching this either. So
there's 5 people watching this right now. It says,
are there really?
Screen. Yes.
Oh my God. I feel
Hi,
so
guys.
bad. I feel so bad.
I love all 5 of you very much. Hi, Mom. Hey, Lisa.
Hey, everybody.
Feel free to chat there in the chats there if you want to just say hello. I'll say hello again so you know what. Just right there, there's a little chat place. Hello. See, we do it like that, and you can. All right. So we finished a couple songs really since our last podcast, and we're going to be looking at one called "God, How the Stars Did Fall" by our friend Clancy right down there. So this is Clancy, his character that Sylvia has drawn. And he's called Doc in the story, in the fictional story of the album, which is, as everyone probably knows because I've said it a million times, is a Western and an opera set in space. And so Clancy is affectionately known as Doc Freyer, and he's the voice of reason on the ship. And so we just finished the song, and it's a pretty interesting song. And we're going to play it for you right now.
Are we going to play the video?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's do that.
stars did fall as we carom between them. Our ship's fateful freight, the weight of our grateful fate. Our solar sails pitted and hewn, our woolen weft hang loose on the loom. Now I see it all, God, how the stars did fall. We'll bless our feast with ancient word. The shank of Helios is heard. The fatted calf, the surly goose, that rascal sow who set him loose. The noble plate, fuel for a king, a taste of everything. Now I see it all, God, how the stars did fall.
Okay, well, that's the video. I hope you guys enjoyed that. We're going to talk about this song a bit. It had some interesting stuff going on, the way that the post-production went down and the story behind the song, which all plays into that. We're writing it as we go. But Clancy showed me this in June. He played it for me, and he did everything on it. I did a couple of the sound effects overdubs, but it's Clancy playing bass, drums, and vocals, correct, Clancy?
Yes.
Yeah. And what struck me about the song was the lyrics, just really amazing. I thought really amazing lyrics. And so
Thank you. I like them.
Yeah.
But they're partly based on our conversations. You know, these are words that you've used, so it's not like I really had to write anything.
Yeah, but you put them together. One line in there, I think it may hold the record for the most rhymes in two verses ever committed to paper, and it's done so well that you don't even notice it. Why don't we look? Can we look at that? So can we look at this?
Yes, we can. Is this good? You want it full screen?
No, I don't think so. Okay. So yeah, they're just really amazing words. Let's see the third and fourth line there. Our ship's fateful freight, the weight of our grateful faith. There, the long A, man, you just nailed it, yeah. And it's so smooth. It's so smooth that you don't even realize it. But tell us what you were thinking when you wrote this there.
This is about Doc. Doc's in a moment of doubt, and he's wondering, you know, he's looking at his life. He's looking at the future. He's going through possibilities in his head.
Cool.
And he's acknowledging this mission, which is you and him, and hoping for the best. And then, you know, just he's sort of, I see him sort of by himself in one part of the ship, and you're in the other part of the ship, and he's sort of talking. He's telling you this over the the ship radio. That's sort of how I had it in my head.
That's pretty cool. I liked it. I liked it a lot. The melody too is very unusual. You told me it's something you thought you had a little Sebado kind of.
I don't ever use
tone.
that word. I didn't say Sebado.
You didn't say Sebado?
No.
What was it?
I don't know.
You don't remember?
No.
You don't use that word? You don't like that band? I thought you liked that band.
No, I like Sebado. They're a good band. I don't reference them regularly. I would remember if I had brought them up.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't anything. It's not based on anything from Sebado. But if you hear something that seems similar, I mean, I steal stuff from everybody, so it might be.
Sweet. You want to go to the next one? So this is pretty interesting too. So this was like a deep well that I fell into. I didn't know the Helios reference. But why don't you explain this line? We'll bless our feast with ancient word. The shank of Helios is heard. The fatted calf, the surly goose, that rascal Sal who set him loose. Can you break that down for us a little bit?
He's talking about the feast to come when you reach your destination.
All right, victory feast.
Yes, he's imagining. In his moment of doubt, he's shifting to something that he has a very strong memory of, and he conjures up these beautiful. He can almost smell it. The banquet, the cornucopia.
Very good. Noble plate, fuel for a king. Taste of everything. I thought these lyrics were really well done. The rhythm scheme, the rhyme scheme was all really well. The imagery that it conjured up. I thought I happened to be reading an anthology of Robert Burns at the time that you brought this into the project, and maybe it was just serendipity or coincidence or my projection, but I felt that there was some sort of affinity there. You mentioned to me it was like there. I've never intentionally.
I hadn't heard of him until you mentioned it. I had to look it up.
There he is, Robert Burns.
That's my ignorance. I can cop to it.
That's all right,
man.
I've never really. I mean, I knew his name, and I knew
it's quite an honor though. I've read some of his stuff. He's really good. So I mean, I'm honored to be compared to him, but I feel like it's a little ridiculous.
Yeah, it was probably more about me being in the hospital, more of which to come. But so the title, I asked you with the title, we've taken from one of the lines, and I asked you if we could name it that. And that line you've copped out of Blood Meridian, right?
It's on the first page.
Is it the very first page? So that's pretty cool. Because, all right, so we're going to talk about the project now. So Blood Meridian is like a Western, a noir Western, right? So,
yes.
But it has, it has all those things we talked about in the first podcast that Westerns have. That it has, these kind of tragic characters, tragic and fatally flawed characters. There's a sense of morality that's often skewed in the wrong direction. There's dark antagonists. There's the geography, of course, especially in Blood Meridian, is very hostile environment, and we wanted to carry all these kind of concepts of in typical Westerns. We wanted to carry that into the album, and then I think we talked about too that the McCarthy he probably borrowed heavily from Faulkner. Because I found that line that I told you about, where it was in one of Faulkner's short stories, Barn Burning. That it goes, the slow constellations wheeled on. That's kind of that.
God, how the stars did fall. It's pretty much
the slow constellations wheeled on. Yeah,
very similar anyway. But I mean, they're both I don't know. It's arguable, but that's very. It's
Let's argue.
no. I'm not here to argue.
Well, and it's funny because I mean, we're not trying to be like, nobody's trying to be highbrow or anything, but I have read a book or two, and so have you, and it's just funny how sometimes things that they kind of stick in your brain, you don't even realize it. For instance, when we started recording and we had that first song, the two songs together, and it was called Out of the Silent Planet, and I named it that because I needed a name and I needed kind of a spacey name, and it was kind of a kicking off the album and lifting off from Earth, and so I took it from that C.S. Lewis book, which is the first book of 3 books in his what he calls the space trilogy. And I think we have a graphic of that there. Yeah, Out of the Silent Planet, Paralandra, and That Hideous Strength. And what I didn't realize is that when I came up with the concept for the record and the kind of one of the moral dilemmas that the protagonist is dealing with is this idea of science and humanity, and how they through science people are trying to perfect humanity, and this is essentially what this 3-part trilogy is talking about. So there's that, and then Pip.
Yeah.
Let's get our cat on here.
Let's get our cat on here, shall we?
Yeah, everybody's favorite.
Disco cat.
Disco cat. So Pip is a character in our graphic novella that we're developing. And so like the very first screen, we were like, basically that's Shannon Roll, the drummer who played drums on Out of the Silent Planet and Pleiades. And she didn't want to be in the graphic novel. So she was like, you could use Pip. So we decided to use her cat in lieu of her. And so we were thinking about what was the cat going to do. And so we were like going to make her talk somehow. So it shows that first screen where she had her first line.
This is her first line is from Pablo Neruda, Death is Waiting, dressed like an admiral. And of course, I remember when we picked out this line, Johnny picked out the poem. He's going through it for a good line for Pip to say. And when he got it. There it was. Perfect.
Yeah, apparently Pip has a collar that she wears. So she thinks about all these literary references and movie references, pop culture references. And her collar, I guess, makes her speak. So that's what we decided. If you've ever seen Pixar's Up, we stole it right from there.
I got
from
you.
The beloved dog character. I can smell
But
you.
she's well read. She's a well read cat.
Yeah. So this is her quoting Neruda, and then she quotes Planet of the Apes. Right there. The book, not the movie.
Yeah.
And then a Robert Burns quote when we got life is but a day at most. And that's Robert Burns. So these literary things, we're just kind of throwing them all around like confetti.
That's true.
All right. What's next?
What is next, actually?
Oh, we're going to talk about. So we kind of put this song in post-production when I was in the hospital.
Indeed. I remember you were telling me to keep the art coming, the content coming, publish the song. I said, I'll steer the course. You said, no, steer the ship. I said, what?
So, yeah. Basically, in the middle of recording this, I
read it as your turn around, go back.
Abort.
Abort.
Yeah. I had a relapse on alcohol. and ended up in the hospital. And so kind of Clancy and Sylvia were putting all this stuff together while I was in the hospital for about a month. And we decided to go ahead and write it into the album, into the story. So that's what we did. So let's show some of those graphics there, Sylvia. You have to pardon me. I haven't spoken in so long. My throat's a little scratchy. So here the main character is being carried away, arrested or detained or something. Kidnapped, captured. There's Clancy, right-hand corner down there.
I'm always crouched with my
Sean's in there. And so,
Standing, yep.
Yeah, there's the stars falling. God, how the stars did fall. Great job, Sylvia, by the way.
Who is this in the door up on the ship? Is that Sean?
No, those are troops of some sort.
Yeah,
Okay.
they boarded the ship. They're tearing it up, trying to capture the protagonist and take him onto the other ship.
Okay.
Sean's the one standing in the middle, and got some
Ricky,
backs of heads.
Ricky Tubbs, the back of Ricky Tubbs' head right there.
Oh, is that his hair? Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that's glorious.
Yeah. He just got it frosted.
That's
I heard.
fantastic.
Oh wait, they don't say frosted. He got it smoked. And then that's the back
I think
of
he
Shannon.
meant he got it chopped off. I think that's what he meant. I don't think he got it tinted.
I didn't know. I'm not. I don't have hair, so I'm not up on
Kids these days in their hair.
Yeah, the kids these days in their hair. There's the
But
back of
Shannon
Roll's head and the back of Sylvia's head too. But
Back of
anyway,
Pip's head in the corner.
so we were talking about tropes. What was a trope, Sylvia?
Oh no, this is all you. What a trope is. What?
It's
It's
just
a recurring theme that is symbolically.
Yeah, it's something that's obviously symbolically represents something else. So we wrote my relapse. I've been an alcoholic for a long time, and I used a lot of drugs too. And I went into recovery first in about 2000, and then 2016 I had a pretty major relapse, and then I got back in recovery, and then going through the divorce and the breakup of my family, and things got really, really, really bad. And so I went in recovery, got back in recovery and was clean and sober off and on. And I was doing really, really well until right about when this song was being produced. And then I had about 3 weeks where I made some bad decisions. I probably took a job that was a little over my head. And I wasn't emotionally or spiritually prepared for. And I chose to live in an apartment by myself and kind of isolate a little bit. And COVID doesn't help. And the fact that AA meetings and NA meetings aren't meeting in person because of the virus, and Zoom meetings are not a very good substitute. So we decided to, with Clancy's song, we decided to write my relapse in. And so the protagonist, who is my alter ego, basically he gets captured here, and the idea is he's been captured by the disease, or if you want to call it sin, you want to call it disease, whatever you want to call it. Let's go to the next slide there, Sil.
Yeah, let's.
This is like the check-in.
Oops, sorry about that. My bad.
Why don't you put that one full screen there?
Righty.
Sylvia was actually in the hospital with me a little bit down here in Charleston, and I pretty much look like that. I was in rough shape, but that's not what the hospital looked like. But
no.
Can you zoom in
so
on
we're
that
not
too?
Yeah. We're not. So you're not sure? Is he going to jail? What's going on here? And then the next.
He's got a chain on his arm. So
yeah,
not really.
Yeah.
It was really interesting, doing this one. I think this is the one I sort of the one I use the most imagination of my own on. And I was going with a bunch of stuff that Johnny told me before on the phone before he really had to go in. And, you know, I'm piecing together. What's that?
Is that the what's above that on the left? It looks like a little girl.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a robot handing him some different clothes, and I don't exactly know what it was. Other than that, there's some of it that's like I put a character in this position
right above her helmet.
Oh, right above it. Yeah, there's just that person. Yeah, there's just more. There's
that
more
creeped me
people.
out when I first saw it. That creeped me out. Nobody knows. Not even Sylvia knows.
Oh, well, that a little bit. I wanted there to be more people in the line. You see the hat room back there too.
Oh yeah.
I wanted to explore a little bit of the way the sort of the way like identity's kind of taken and broken down, but on the other hand, you have this little dude in front sort of confiscating this hat, like maybe there's something special about it. But there's that tension there of the sort of the I don't know,
something's afoot.
How sin and life sort of strips you of your identity and something special, but on the other hand, you know, what is inherent, what is what remains of people, and that's sort of where I went with that. And let's go to the next one.
I want to say, go ahead.
Okay.
That's pretty much what it feels like when you go to the hospital and with your guitar and they lock it in a closet and take your shoelaces and your belt and everything. That's what what it's like when you go to the hospital that I go to.
Which is what you were describing to me. What you're describing to me on the way out, and I'm doing my best to capture, you know, what you're trying to lay down for me. Yeah. It was, you know. So here's the next scene.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it feels like.
This one was more you in terms of describing it, you know, having the scene already. I mean, obviously I took some license with some of these dudes around, but no, do you feel that way or no?
Oh yeah, no, it's great. I love it. I love the artwork. The artwork is like some of the best part of the whole thing. So the record kind of goes like this. The protagonist, he's leaving Earth. He's kind of on the run. He's headed, he knows not where. He's going out in deep space, and he's kind of running from the way that society has become unbearable to him. He sees a lot of its flaws and its missteps and its brutality and cruelty. And so he kind of thinks that, you know, if he can just get away from it and be alone, then he can find some sort of calm and purity and peace and order. And then, unfortunately, he finds out that an even bigger problem, or at least as big of a problem, is the fact that all that stuff is in him too. And so we wrote this into the story, into the album, to kind of, first of all, because it's brutally honest, and that's actually what was going on when we were writing the album. So we were being true to the circumstances, but it fits in there, and we want people to understand, or we want the listener to understand that our protagonist is deeply flawed, and you know, that's something that he has to deal with before he can deal with his external circumstances. He's got to kind of reconcile what's wrong with him, and bring that into conformity with something that's harmonious, in order to make sense of the rest of the world. But so anyway, that's that song. Anyway, you guys, whoever's listening, you guys can go to our This Earthly Tabernacle Facebook page, and you can listen to all the songs, see all the videos. But is Sean backstage?
Yes, he is. Why don't I just bring him right on?
Hello.
Sean, here, you still awake? Sorry.
Hello.
Hey, Sean.
No, I'm awake. Of course. How's it going?
It's good to see you.
We had a little technical difficulty, right. And then I'm losing my voice. But other than that, we're doing good. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce
most anyone.
Yeah. Sean Harris is a good old friend of ours, and he played guitar on one of the songs we've done and finished already, called the Rattlesnake, and that was a great trip. We're going to talk about that a little bit. John, how are you?
John?
I'm doing well. Life in the big city up here in the East Village, and I'm doing well. COVID's been crazy, as I was listening to you guys a little bit, so we've getting through that as best as we can. But alive and well. Happy to be here.
Cool. For all of you people out there, you may not know that Clancy and Sean and I worked at the same restaurant at the same time. We were all there. Do we have a slide? Can we do it? Oh, look at there.
Yeah, look at that place.
Look at that place. The sun is just. It is.
Yeah. It was just as rough around the edges as it looks. Yeah. Honestly,
it's got ruin
I can smell the garlic. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. I'm almost sad that it won't get like some kind of historic, maybe a plaque on the side of the building or something, or maybe I'll just put one on there when I visit next time.
So we all worked at this restaurant in Richmond, Virginia, for all you viewers out there that are unfamiliar, and it was literally the CBGBs of food. In
That's
Richmond.
Well put. Yeah.
Just I can't even explain it. Where you get that chalkboard picture? Let's see.
Absolutely, it's coming right up.
This is from after Sean's time because there's no snakes on the menu.
Oh yeah, well, yeah. We used to. I used to put up random whatever, just we get a kick out of things, and someone actually said, people would ask, questions about asabuco. Not everyone knows what that is, and but then they'd ask silly questions like, "What's vegetable lasagna?" And I was like, well, it's vegetable lasagna, it's just how do we do it or what? So one day I just put up snakes. I put up snakes for like $110 or something, and somebody, it was like a Jeopardy answer. They said, "What is snakes?" And I don't know. I just tried to explain that it was a joke, Yeah, snakes. So I tried to explain that it was a joke, and they just gave me a blank stare, like most of the customers generally gave me, because I thought I was being funny or cute or something. But I thought it was hilarious. But,
people didn't.
But I ended up 86. I ended up 86ing snakes that night because I got sick of trying to explain that I thought I was funny, So, but I don't think I don't think after 10 or so years being there, I don't think people would have been surprised if we had some kind of snake on the menu, because we did have some strange items. But what is snakes, Alex? Glorious board though. My handwriting wasn't nearly as good as yours, Johnny, or many others, but I did a lot of work on that board. I don't think I ever wrote the entire menu, but I certainly I could match some of the handwriting at times. Anyway,
good times. I had I had a dream last night, and I had this a recurring dream. I have dreams that I go back to work there. And I had the dream last night, and I think Mikey Grisafi and Jensen were in charge, and it was my first night back, and they wouldn't let me cook anything, and that was like kind of the nightmare part. I was like, "What can I do? Can I cook the eggplant parmesan?" And they're like, "No." It's like, they just wouldn't let me cook.
The good times never ended. I think none of us spoke. I learned to speak a little bit of menu Italian, but we would listen to the Italian songs on the jukebox. We had this wonderful jukebox, so it was really kind of a music place. And most of us, I used to joke that it was a prereq that you had to play guitar to even work there, or be involved in a musical. Not just a creative project, but a musical project, because a ton of musicians and very talented people came through there.
So it was kind of a waste of hand-eye coordination.
And quick learners. It's
true.
Like, okay, I'm just, I'm bad at that song, but I'm getting it or whatever. But it was quite an experience, So it's hindsight 2020, but fond memories as well.
Well, I knew Clancy from high school, but if I hadn't worked there, I would have never met you, Sean, and you wouldn't be playing on this record now. So
Well, yeah. For me, it was meeting you and Clancy. I'm certainly aware of your work, but it was, it's not like I don't know. We all came from different angles, and that was part of the beauty of the Richmond music scene is that in our own right, I think we were all successful, and but I think we just just scenes that would not have converged necessarily, people that wouldn't have spent as much time together. So it gave us all a chance
Yeah.
to kind of get to know one another and our work respectively.
Well, I always thought of it like it's like we were all in the same family, but it was just like different branches of the family, you know. Like
Sure.
like I wasn't familiar with like all you guys over there. Like started out with like honor roll, and like honor roll was like the top of the family, and everything down from them on their side of the family, and so we were kind of I don't know, but it was pretty cool. So we got a picture. We could show that picture.
Yes, sir. There's one.
There we go.
Oh yeah.
There he is.
Yeah, that's a fairly recent. I was, Johnny, you were there, and so that was at the David Berman tribute here at Union Pool in Brooklyn, and I was flabbergasted when I was asked to play guitar in a, people were putting together little super groups or whatever, whoever could do it, and my friend Kylie asked me to kind of. I don't know, not rewrite, but adapt some of his music into kind of a heavier angle, or a heavier. I just kind of put a Jesus Lizard spin on David Berman's stuff, and I didn't know his stuff all that well, but I was like, well, how can I heavy this up without hopefully angering his fans? But we played 2 shows, and we played fairly early on, so I thought it would give it kind of his music can be a bit sedate at times, so I thought it would kind of kickstart things for both sets to have kind of a rock and roll or noise rock louder experience going on for that. But not a terrible photo. My wife Katie took that photo, so
cool. Thanks to Katie.
Yeah,
well, I think it was pretty cool in that show
Katie.
Because some people were trying to be like real literalist, strict, faithful to exactly the song and recreate it exactly like it sounded on the record. And then you had y'all that probably on the other end of the spectrum, we were like reinterpreting it. And then there was like a mix of bands in between that spectrum, so it was pretty cool.
Well, it was wonderful because there were so many folks that, and my friend Kylie and bandmate for that, she knew him very well back in Charlottesville back in the day, and so to have her sign off on what I was doing and think that it was okay. Again, I just wanted to honor the material, but
Sure.
It felt right, and it was. I met bunch of wonderful people that evening. I mean, it's a very bittersweet, but it was quite a show. It was quite a show, and a great turnout. We had to add a second show, and so
pretty cool.
That's great.
It was cool. Yeah.
So you do what else? You also are acting in New York, aren't you? And we got some pictures of that here.
Yeah, I am. Yes,
make that full screen.
Interesting
You make that full screen.
Yeah.
Tell us what's going on here.
So this was for like a corporate commercial. It was that's a black and white. I should have given you the green one, but so I'm obviously working with green screen. So I'm reacting to a CGI environment in an office where the office is being modernized right before my eyes. So I'm just an office worker at a desk. But you can see these guys have masks on and social distancing, but very practical effects. They're just pulling my chair as I'm looking around at this new environment unfolding in front of me.
Cool.
So that was interesting. Yeah. So, again, the pandemic, it's like we all had to play it very safe and play by the rules, but I was happy to get some work. Yeah.
All right, what else we got? So tell us what's going on here. Are you the president of the United States?
No,
I wish you were.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure. We would have free music programs in every school, but that's about it.
There you go.
So this is I'm playing Agent Pascal in this in a thing called A Good Cop by this man David Chang, this director here in New York, and So I'm an FBI agent, and an NYPD cop comes in to have a meeting with me, and I really pretty much dress him down. I don't take him seriously at all. So I got to draw from my more cocky attitude from when I was a bit younger, and basically just tell him to get out of my office, and I don't take him seriously at all. So it was a fun shoot. It was a fun shoot, you know. So. Yeah, and real short haircut and real buttoned up and all that. So if anyone knows me, it's hard enough for me to be serious. So playing an FBI agent was a bit of a stretch for me. Yeah, so,
Pretty cool.
Well, you look great.
it was fun. Well,
Oh,
thanks, yeah.
what are you doing, Sylvia?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't want to
Oh,
see that?
hello.
Okay, so
Oh, that's all right. That's all right. Hey,
no, go back,
yeah.
go back. So this
Well,
let me
looks like
let me set
walk down
set this up
memory
a little
lane
bit.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we're all. How old are you now, Sean?
I am 51, and in that photo, I was 13. That was my first real guitar. It was an American Stratocaster, which I'd never sold it. But yeah, I've got my little mullet going and everything, so that if the guitar is bigger than I am. Look at that. You know.
So Clancy, you're 53, right? 54, 53,
I'm 52, and in
52.
that
Sorry,
picture I was 18.
18. All right,
That's
I'm
good for
54. Yeah, yep. I think I'm 18 there too. So I just wanted to show that we didn't just start doing.
Where is
what
that?
we're
Where are you
doing.
standing there, Johnny?
That's in the
that picture?
apartment on 1101 or 1100 West Grace. So another apartment gig.
Very nice.
I mean, what? Yeah, practicing in the apartment, Sean. That's why we're all half deaf, because we're in these tiny little fan apartment rooms
Oh,
with.
it's good. I tell you, no, I was still had my hearing was still great then, but I was losing it quickly because I would practice at night. I would plug my headphones straight into my amp, and I had a little
Right.
headphone jack on, and so that was the beginning of that was the beginning of these the high pitched tinny noises I hear all day every day now.
Yeah.
But well worth it. I don't know. That was in my parents' home. I was currently living in the mean streets of Henrico County, Virginia. So,
You said you were
yeah, so
13 there?
I think I was 13 there. Yeah. So, yeah.
Pretty
yeah.
cool.
I cut a lot of grass and tried to keep my grades up to earn that thing. So
That's a nice prize.
it was a good
That's
prize. I'm not
scratch.
sure I earned it, but well, I ended up selling it later and bought all bass gear because I was in a heavy metal band very early on. We had two guitarists, bass player, so I was one of the guitarists, but we decided to kick the bass player out, and that I would play bass. So I sold that Stratocaster and bought a Kramer bass and a Peavey full stack. So
Well,
I got at the
They
time I got a lot of
sound
money
really
for that
great.
guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So I just switched to bass for that, and then stayed on bass for years because it. I don't know, just kind of spoke to me. I like the notiness of it, and kind of coming from kind of a heavy metal background,
Yeah.
which later got a little heavier and heavier and heavier, with,
Right.
thrash, like Metallica, Celtic Frost, or what have you. The bass kind of spoke to me. So I played bass for years, and so, yeah.
Well, Sean, we were talking earlier before you joined us that I've booked some studio time here in Charleston at a place called Rose City Recording. And starting in mid-October, we're going to be putting down the basic tracks for the next portion of the album. And hopefully through the end of the year, we'll be finishing up the entire first side of the record. And I'd like to invite you to play on some stuff in the future if you're game.
Absolutely.
Everybody needs to check out the Rattlesnake. It's a song we talked about on our first podcast, but it's our rendition of a traditional Mexican song, and nobody really knows exactly what it's about, but we've put our spin on it, so you need to go to our page and check that out. Clancy plays some amazing guitar work on it as well, some bass, And Sean's guitar is it's just perfect. It embodies it's
Brilliant.
very really snake like. So we love it.
What I
It
love
is.
is it comes kind of full circle here, because to me that song is just this plate of snakes of all different sizes
Go
and
ahead.
varieties
Yeah.
being served up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
Huh.
it's yeah. I was thinking about and I have no illusions about maybe where I'm
Oh,
at in
where'd Clancy go?
acting, but I was thinking about these
Where'd Clancy go?
the characters, involved in the graphic novel and in the whole situation,
Yeah.
creatively here. So Gunny, to me, which is I suppose my character in this, I like the idea that he comes out guns blazing,
Yeah.
and I wanted my my part to sort of sound that way. He feels
Right.
like
Well, it's cool because you're working as an actor, and so they give you kind of a sketch of what and that's what we wanted. Like, you're supposed to, in the story, you're the hired muscle. You're the mercenary or a Marine or an ex-Marine or a disgraced Marine. We're not sure what you are. You're some kind of ex-military guy.
Yeah. I got the whole gunfighter thing, so I thought
Yeah.
that when I show up, you're gonna know.
Right.
When I'm around, you're gonna hear it. You're gonna know that I'm present. So yeah, it was a lot of fun to work on. Absolutely.
Well, everybody needs to check out those links and then stay tuned because we'll be posting some new stuff. We got some studio work coming up. We also have a podcast 1 week from tonight on acute mania right here in Charleston, West Virginia, and we'll post links for that. And so we've lost Clancy, unfortunately, and our time's just about up anyway. And so
Yeah.
I wanted to
Well,
thank
thank you
Sylvia.
for having me, John.
Yeah. Thanks,
You know,
Sylvia
thank
and
you
Sean.
both. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
For anybody
I'm
that's
looking forward to it.
still tuned in, sorry about the technical glitch at the beginning, and sorry about losing my voice there in the middle. Started choking up a little bit, but hey, we're old. We got excuses. So
Yeah.
Sean, love you, man, and stick
you
around.
too.
We got some songs coming your way. And Clancy, if you're here out there somewhere, thank you so much, Clancy.
Thank you
and
so much.
Talk to you
Sorry
soon.
if I kicked you off with my elbow.
I will.
All right.
I'll chat with you guys again soon. I look forward to working on more.
All right, thanks. All right, everybody. This has been our podcast number 2, and as kind of in the ethos of the album, it looked like it was going to fall apart in any minute. Fortunately, we didn't go down totally in flames, but there was some smoke coming from engine number 3.
I'll do better next time.
No, it wasn't you. It was me.
We'll go all the way down in smoke next time. I can do it, Captain.
Thanks, everybody, for joining us if you're actually here, and we appreciate it. God bless you all. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.
Bye.